Once again, thank you for joining me on this particular session in your financial accounting class. And I hope that we can have some time today just to learn double entry. And we like saying in this class that foundations are very important because this double entry does not go away. Even at advanced financial reporting stage, we now call it strategic business reporter. You're going to have to face some aspects of double entry. So this foundation should not be ignored because you are going to use it in your future classes. So today we want to look at double entry. Sometimes it's called, double entry bookkeeping. But I just want to call it double entry, and I hope that you have written something there. I'll be moving a bit brisk, trying to check on some slides that I can use. Maybe today we can do things differently, try to practice more. Maybe I can also sit down, try to do things in Excel, so that those who are going to be receiving this particular lecture online will have to benefit as well. All right, so we proceed maybe with a thought, as I said earlier on. Perhaps double entry is the most important topic in financial accounting because it can be traced to the succeeding topics, the topics that we are going to have in the near future. We are likely to see double entry is going to be examined in those topics. So don't ignore this topic. Even when you deal with depreciation, there's double entry, recoverable debts, there's double entry, and so on and so forth. All right. Can we proceed? You don't have to write this. I'm going to look at the concept that we could have learned some time back, the dual concept. We're going to at least talk about how to deal with the accounting equation, identifying and posting accounts, and of course how to extract a trial balance. So let's begin the dual concept. So I'll just be making some brief points, and of course you can be taking down some points. This particular lecture is going to be shared on our WhatsApp platform. The dual concept states that assets and liabilities must be what? Preserved. That the value of assets will be equal to the value of liabilities at any given point in time. At any given point in time. Okay? Are you able to see clearly? Okay? At any given point in time. Right, so the debits will be equal to the credits. And of course, the debit entry will give rise to an equal but opposite, credit entry. In basic terms, when you have got a business transaction, it is likely to affect two accounts. One account, the first account, will be affected on the debit side, and the second account will be affected on the credit side. So we're going to discuss what that really means in terms of the T account, and you are going to have to ask your questions. Can I proceed from that slide? Still writing. I hope that your morning is okay. Is the morning okay? You didn't win last night. What happened? Somebody made a terrible mistake deep in extra time. Or there was unfair officiating. That's what you're going to say? Yes. You should stop excuses now. Anyway, I'm told that you are the better of the two sides, which is encouraging. But you've qualified, right? That's what I'm told. Have you qualified? You have qualified already?
Yes,
but the others?
Yeah, we'll just fight for it.
Oh, okay. Can we proceed? You know, you need to be writing with some precision here. The accounting equation, very important. And assets will be equal to what? Capital plus what? Plus liabilities. Also based on the what? Due what? Concept. Also based on the dual concepts, the accounting equation. Could there be some questions on the accounting equation? You know, just to help someone. Last time, someone was asking, what is an asset? We understand what it is, eh? It is what it is. These are resources that are controlled by the business. Capital, owners' funds, and liabilities, obligations that are owed by the business to third parties. Let me proceed. I'm sure you are done writing. Yes. You know, I was forced to get back to this one. Just briefly. Assets, resources controlled by a business. You understand that? They can be long-term and what? Short-term. You want us to give examples again? That's what children do. No. All right. So we have got land and buildings under long-term machinery, right? And then under short-term, we have got inventory, receivables, and cash. Is that okay? What about liabilities? These are present what? Obligations. Our friends from the East like saying, a crime cannot rot. Meaning, even if your liability will mature after you die, it is still there until somebody, it will be there rather until somebody pays it off. Can I proceed? So what are the examples of liabilities that you have? Under long term, at least we can talk about a loan that is going to be paid in more than what? 12 months. But under short term, what do you have? You've got payables, you've got tax, which is due within a year, you've got overdrafts, isn't it? You've got expenses that are accrued. For instance, if you never paid all your employees by the end, you have what we call short-term obligation. Capital means owners what? Funds in the business. What gives you control over your business? What makes you look like you are intelligent in your business? Now, capital is the claim that the owner has on the business. Do you understand that? And it's very important to know that capital is a special type of liability. To the owner, capital is an asset, it's a financial asset, but to the business, capital is a what? A liability, a special type of liability. These things, it looks like some of you know, but you're not writing. So I'm going to assume that you know them. Can I assume? It's not good to write everything, eh? Income simply means end funds. Both credit and cash sales. You understand? Income. 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 Please remember that income excludes capital, so that if the owner brings in value in the business, you can't say that this is income. You understand that? Yeah, otherwise, you will be cited. You don't know what it means when we say business entity, what? Concept. Expenses, these are business costs. there should be business costs. Costs that we use in running, that we spend rather, or that we incur rather, in taking the business forward. We have got cost of sales, administration costs, and distribution costs. Those are the broad categories. This thing I think I could have sent to you. I'm still recording it here. Let me be selective this time around. Remember that I said I wanted to be a little bit focused on the questions. So I'll be done very soon with this discussion so that we can bring in the other thoughts. In your financial accounting class, you will appreciate cash transactions and what? Credit what? Transactions. Cash transactions, these are transactions whereby goods are exchanged for immediate payment. You understand that? Immediate payment, cash transactions. But in a credit transaction, goods will be given up or exchanged, but payment will be made what? Later. It's very important to know that a credit transaction will either give rise to a receivable when you are selling, you understand? Or a what? A payable when you're what? Buying. I think many people do not understand that part, and it's very unfortunate. Yes?
Yeah, for cash.
Yes, cash, yes.
Increases or reduces cash in hand.
And at bank, maybe we can say that, And what? At what? At bank. So whenever you deal in a cash transaction, it is either you are receiving money, that is, you are increasing your money in the hand or at the bank, right? Or you are what? You are paying, right? That is, you are reducing the money in hand or at the bank. But in most cases, you will find that you don't have enough money, right? So sometimes you may have to get goods on what? Credit. And if your customers ask that you sell them goods on credit, it is better to be owed. Someone said that. Do you understand that statement? It is better to be what? To be owed, especially if you are dealing in perishable what? Products. Because if somebody does not buy from you, who is going to eat that perishable product? I want to proceed. I'm not going to be long. I hope there's an example here. Yes, there is. Let me just start with that example. And it's not very complicated. We are going to start with the so-called accounting what? Equation. And we're going to use this lady's name. It looks like in some cases it is used by a man. Monday's transaction in a first week in business is given below. So we have got those about 5 transactions. Let us try to deal with the so-called accounting equation. And maybe I can also talk about the business equation. Let me just open my Excel. And you'll be writing what I'm doing. We are going to do several things today. Not you. Not that one. I went to something else. This one is the best. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So, as we discussed, under the accounting equation, what did we say? Assets will always be equal to what? So let's begin with what she's doing there, and maybe I can just do this. so that somebody can see clearly. I hope you can see clearly. Okay, we begin with the introduction of capital. So she introduces how much? 500, right? So what is happening here? She will have an asset in a bank account, 500, right? Which will be equal to her capital, which is also going to be how much? 500. I hope you can see that. There will be no liabilities, so there is nil. At whatever point in time, what should happen? Maybe we can take it there so that this side we can be putting the transaction, type and the like. Okay, that was one. The second one is what? What happened? You didn't write, eh? So I'm going to ask you to write. Please write. And then I will come shortly. Right. Can we proceed? Can we proceed? You said no. All right. Is there someone who's done? Who's done? You're done? Yeah. Okay, good. Let us try to manage our time, those of you who are still writing. Are there some questions so far on what you have heard? At the back there? No questions. Everything is clear. Are you getting something? Okay. And what was the question here? If we said question, show how the above transactions will affect the accounting equation. This is probably the cheapest question in our class. Okay. So, maybe we can start because you can be writing as we go along. Is that okay? Okay, so the second transaction is you bought a van for how much? Yeah, let me just remove this one. I concentrate on this. Can I say all figures? I don't like too many zeros. Thousands, eh? You can say this, eh? Maybe to help someone. So I'll be just concentrating on these other numbers here. I hope that is going to help us. Eh? Next, quarter thousands. All figures are in quarter thousands. The next time he went to buy a vehicle, right? For how much? 120. So where did he get the money from? From the 500, isn't it? So the 500 must reduce. Did you hear that? To how much? What is the difference between 500 and 120, guys? 380. Okay, 380 is equal to, he still has his capital, which is a record, and there's no liability there. Any question on that? What else is there? Bought goods for how much? 50,000. On what? On credit. What does that mean? He's got a liability, right? But he's also got inventory worth how much? 50,000. So inventory comes in. You understand? And he's got he's got the van. Is that correct? The van is still at 120. Then he's got the cash. How much? 380. And then he's got the capital record, 500, right? But now he's got a liability of how much, guys? Hello? 50, right? This is simple, right? Is it complicated? Let's follow through. Next. I'm going to be done very soon. Sold all the goods that he bought for how much? 95. Cash being received at once. Can you see that? Yes. So it means where there's a 50, there will be new, right? But the van remains. And cash being received at once. How much are you going to have when you add 380 plus 95? Use your calculator. 380 plus 95. Those days, people used to add these things in their mind without using the calculator. But nowadays, we are used. How much do you have? Come again? Is she correct? 475. Proceed to the next one. He's got the capital record of 500. But when he sold the goods for 95, the ones he bought for 50, he made a profit. How much was the profit that he made? What's the difference between 95 and 50? 45, right? Thank you. So understand that profit increases capital. You understand that? Profit increases what? Capital. Plus, he still has a liability, right? He never paid off, it seems. Yes. Is the accounting equation balancing? Is it balancing? 120 plus 475 plus 500 plus 45. I mean, is equal to 500 plus 45 plus that number? Is the accounting equation balancing? All right. Finally, withdrew 5,000 from the business to meet personal obligations. What do you call that? Drawings, right? 20. Withdrew a 5. So meaning, where there is a 475, how much does he have now? For what? 470. Now we proceed. Capital is 500 plus 45. Drawings reduce capital. You understand that? In fact, if I wanted, I could have put the 5 where? Just after this number. You understand? Drawings reduces what? Capital. All right, my people. I think I'm almost done here. This is a basic example of the accounting equation. Now we can summarize. We have agreed that assets, you understand, is equal to what? Capital plus what? Yes. This may not look very good, you know. So let's bring it here. And I'm going to also bring the plus somewhere here so that you can understand what is going on. plus liabilities, right? So we're going to summarize now and conclude. How much is your total value of assets? You're going to say 120 plus what? For what? 470. How much do you have? 590, right? How much is your new value of capital? In this case, capital will be equal to 500 minus a 5 plus the profit that you made. How much is the figure? Hello? 5 what? 5 what? 540. And how much is your liability? 50. Are we okay? Yes? Can we confirm that this is correct? Mm-hmm. She can confirm. What about others? You can also confirm, huh? Are you able to confirm? I think you can. So that's what we have there. The accounting equation. Can I proceed? Hello? You're done? Everybody's done? Can I wrap this from Excel here? Because I want to demonstrate something else. Yeah, so that is a picture that we have. I'm going now to proceed to something else. We are still in the baby pool. So don't start celebrating. We have got a lot of works to do. From here, we are going to rise to correction of what? Errors. But you need to understand the basics so that you can excel. Okay? Can I erase? I think I can do that. Looks like everybody could be done by now. I'm going to introduce this thought. Trade is all about buying and what? Buying and what? Selling, right? Do you agree with that statement? And we are going to bring in our thoughts. The word for buying in accounts is known as purchases. You understand? And the word for selling is known as what? Sales. You understand? Start writing, please, because I've already started throwing these thoughts to you. Now, when we are buying, there are two types of buyings that we can do, isn't it? We can either make a cash purchase, you understand? Or a what? Mm-hmm. Or a credit purchase. I'm going to put them here so that you can see that. The same goes for sales, right? We can either have what? Cash what? Cash sales or what? Credit sales. In fact, let me just write sale here. Make it singular so that you can understand here. Okay? I hope you can see what is going on here. I still writing. Because the next thing that we're going to do is to start identifying what? Accounts. Start identifying accounts. There is nothing to it. Once you run with us some few, examples, you become proficient. Just like they say, practice makes what? Perfect. So I like joking. If you're practicing witchcraft, you're going to become a perfect what? Witch. An experienced one. All right? Don't practice bad things, eh? You become perfect at them. So let's practice accounts and become perfect what? Accountants. Okay. Can I proceed? The next thing that we need to do is to appreciate that this word, credit, you understand? And also here, credit, you need to be careful with those words, because those words mean that cash was not what? Received or paid. Do you understand that? Credit means cash was not received or paid. And that could be where the problem is for most students who are not careful. But I think in this class, students appear to be careful. So I'm going to write here, identify the accounts, okay, involved in this particular, statements. Like in a cash purchase, which accounts can you hear? There is what we call the cash account. Simple? Just because the lecturer said it. And then there's what we call the purchases what? Purchases what? Account. I'll just write it short because I don't have enough space. So I'm going to write here. Purchases account. Write in full, please. Okay? Write in full. What about in a credit purchase? Which accounts can you hear? Someone last time said credit account. Don't say credit account. All right. So we've got a special account known as the payables account. You used to call it what? Creditors, right? Yeah. I've said payables. You have understood that one. Let me write it in full. And then here we still have what? Purchase what? Purchases, You understand that? Yes. Simple. Simple, 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 simple. But maybe not yet for some. Isn't that so? Because others are learning this for the first time. Okay? In a cash sale, which accounts can you hear? Say it. Cash account, right? And what? Sales account, right? Next, in a credit sale, which account can you hear? Debtors, or receivables. The name we are using nowadays is what? Next, sales. So whether you sell on cash basis, I saw this one. Is this helping someone? Okay, let me get back to my slides. Can I get back to my slides? All right, let's get back to the slides and discuss further. Foundation, the most important thing in your life is foundation. Let us now go to debit and what? Credit. I'm going to give you 3 ways of reciting the meaning of debit or credit, but remembering is your business. You have to eat a lot of garlic and what? Onion and ginger. You know where to buy those, All you need to do is to go and buy. This is the language of double entry. Debit and what? Credit. It is arbitrary in the sense that we just decided. Okay? Like the way people say the north is this side, the south is this side and the like. But in some cases you find that when you're going to a north part, you're going down, You might be descending, You might be descending in some cases. You might be descending. I'm telling you the truth. We just decided, all right? So a little bit of what? Memorizing will help you initially. And then further, you're going to master. And that is the idea here. It is arbitrary. Okay? Debit means increase in assets, expenses, and what? Or drawings. Then credit means increase in liabilities, income, and capital. Mr. Samuel, is there a difference between what you know and what we are doing now? No big difference, isn't it? Where is the difference when it comes to questions, perhaps? But what is important is to master these things so that you can excel. I can see there are some people are not here in this class. Why is it like that? Lack of consistency. Days are moving. All right. Are you there? Are you there? I'm going to show you a T account, come rain or sunshine. So just take down your notes. Whenever there is an increase, whenever you buy an asset, you are supposed to debit the asset account. You understand? Whenever you incur an expense, you're supposed to debit the expense what? Account. Whenever you get goods for personal use from your business, you're supposed to debit drawings. We proceed down there. Whenever you get a loan, for instance, you're supposed to credit your loan what? Account. Liabilities we do what? We credit, isn't it? Whenever you make sales, you're supposed to credit your sales account. That's income, right? And whenever you invest money in your business, you're supposed to credit the capital account. You know, there's certain accounts that are never in debit. Income and what? Capital. These accounts are always what? Credited at your level. Okay, so here is the T account. And please take some time to, write what you see. It is a T account because it is supposed to be given in T shape. You understand? So let me just do this so that you see what I mean. Okay, I'm going to remove certain lines. Say no border here. It's not aggressive. Okay. Looks like it's refusing, eh? So the part to concentrate on the top part here. Right. You debit expenses, assets, and drawings, right? Or dividends. Then you credit income, credit liabilities, income, and what? Capital. There are those people who like saying, I usually forget. So there's an acronym down here. DED what? DED click means what? Debit expenses, assets, and what? And then credit what? Do you understand this? Double entry. Double entry. Double entry. Please let us excel and succeed at double entry. You're done writing? Somebody still writing? Will you be able to forget these things? Those of you who are not married, please don't marry until you finish your studies. Last time when we said that, somebody said it's too late. I already have a child. But having a child does not mean that you're married. You're married, isn't it? So, those of you who are not yet married, finish your studies before you get married. Because these things are evolving. You understand that? These things are evolving. If you throw in a wedding in the syllabus, you'll be slowed down. Now, I'm not saying do not get married. I'm saying just prioritize certain things. All right? Now, there is another method of remembering this double entry business that is being given to you. That is mostly used by those people who do not study accounts as their mainstream subject. Credit the what? Giver. And debit the what? The receiver. Are you going to forget? This one applies well to personal what? Accounts. Especially when names are mentioned, individual names and company names are mentioned. This particular method should be able to assist you, because you should be knowing when they say bought goods from who? From Samuel. Then it means Samuel is doing what? Is giving aid. Meaning that Samuel must be what? Credited, isn't it? And when they say goods, just know that you're dealing with purchases, bought goods. Sold goods, you're dealing with what? Sales. Understand. Double entry. There is a language here that we must appreciate. You understand? If you understand this language, you get over it. Now listen to this. These things were done before. Many people have done them. If Malawi did it, we can also did it. Eh? Isn't that so? Don't say, neos, we have concluded already. There's no one who is down. Just express interest. Eh? Do you understand that? I think this is the best place to stereotype. Eh? No one is down. Just express what? Interest. A little interest goes a long way. I'm sure you're going to excel here. Have you written what we have on the board? So how many things have you done? I think you have done about 2 so far. So here is a song that you can sing besides your bed. Assets, we do what? Liabilities, we do what? It's a song, eh? Maybe you can make up your own song. Some people don't know how to sing. Expenses, we do what? And income, we do what? We credit. How many things? 3. Even if you like insisting at you're okay. We're going to speak for you that you can do these things and progress faster and excel and invite your family members that have cleared less of a part. Good reason, right? Good reason. I like telling my students there's no better time to announce that you have failed. If you announce in the morning, you spoil someone's day. If you announce at night, your sponsors will have nightmares. The dream will turn into a what? Nightmare. They will be seeing problems. Why did they send you to school? They understand that they will not be there forever. You understand that? You know, how can we celebrate sponsors when we didn't listen to what they said? How can we say, may the dead rest in peace, when you didn't listen to what the sponsors, when you didn't fulfill the sponsor's wish? How do you even have the guts? There are some people who don't have mess, eh? But I think in this room we have got so many students who have got mess. Have mess on your sponsors. They want something good for you, right? So please reciprocate. That's a language, right? Whatever they're trying to do. All right. You know, I try to think about these things, and cash transactions will have the words paid. Whenever you hear the word paid, just know that money has moved. Eh? Receipt. Money has what? Moved. Check. That's also a cash transaction. But of course, when we hear the word check, remember the word what? Bank. Did you hear that? Remember the word what? Bank. Why am I overtasking myself? Sometimes there might be an issue of transfer. We shall do this under bank reconciliation. Cash transaction has taken place when there's a transfer. Or you might be told the word cash itself. You'll be like, hey, but I think in most cases, that's the word that they use. In a credit transaction, you hear the word what? Credit, eh? Or you might be told that payment will take place what? Later. Just know that we haven't received or paid any cash. Yeah. Too much of anything is bad. This is now 9 what? Or 8:57. I thought I would finish in record time. But maybe it was necessary to discuss these things, right? So that we can fulfill what the Easterners like saying, hey, ati mwana nikushita bwanje, nikupelekeza. Otherwise, azatava. So it's very important for us to show you these words so that you don't say, anatwekerera. You know, I like saying that the students of nowadays are not lucky. They are blessed because you have got all the information that you need to pass. All the information that you need to pass is within your what? Your phone. Some of you within your computers. So failure is actually a choice. One insists to fail. Still writing? Okay, let us now do what? Why do the Southerners like saying? How do they pronounce this word? Mr. Samuel? Let us practice. Let us practice. I heard someone saying you should be practicing. Let us practice some questions. All right? Can we practice some questions? All right, let's proceed. I'll bring you Mr. Frankwood. Maybe this one will be too much for you. Won't it be too much for you? Let me go somewhere. Identification of accounts. I hope that I've got something here. Let me go on top there. I bring you Mr. Frankwood. I think he should have something that is a bit simpler. Identification of accounts. One person has said it to be too much, so I go here first. Eh? Hello? Hello? Are you ready? Yes. Goods bought on credit from J-Rate. Identify the accounts. Oh, you said what's the page number? 36. My own, eh? You can see this one. I'm going to do the first one with you. And you're going to do the second one alone. Spoon feeding is one of the most dangerous things also that can happen to someone. We teach, you apply. You understand that? So let me start. Here there is what? Debit. Eh? Here there is what? Credit. How many accounts do we have? How many transaction rather do we have? Let me just do this. Kapena retain, eh? Probably. So for the first one, what are we being told? Goods bought on credit from J-Rate. Now listen to this. Every time we meet that word goods, it's either we are selling or we are what? Buying. Meaning that it's either purchases is involved or what? Sales is what? Involved. So let's begin. Now, I want you to remember, especially those of you who like saying that no, Maibana fast. The giver, what do we do to the giver? We credit, eh? The receiver? So what is J. Raid doing in this case? J. Raid is the creditor, isn't it? So you write it. J what? Is it like this? Something like this. What were we doing? Purchases, eh? You understand? Since they have mentioned goods. Next. You'll be doing exactly what you're seeing on the board. And we can always progress. Next one. Don't be very slow. Please don't write the sentences because the book is yours. Soft copy. You can even wake up at night and use it. Ha! Sacrifice. Goods sold on credit to B. Peckings. Now, what is B. Peckings doing? Now you can say it. Eh? Who is he? He's a receivable, isn't it? B. Peckings is the receivable. What did we do? We sold on credit. This is a credit what? Sale. You understand? The first one was a credit purchase. So simply write what I'm writing. Don't write the sentence. That book is yours. If you want, you can wake up at 01. Some people are understanding what I'm saying. Next, Vans bought on credit. From who? Now they have mentioned another specific asset, Van Nuys. So what is H. Thomas doing? So what do we do with the givers? The other side, what do we put? Van. You understand that? No one from this class should fail. Next. Goods sold, a check being received immediately. When you sell goods, what do you have? Sales, eh? Cheap. But when they say a check being received immediately, we introduce what? Bank. Identify the accounts. Simple. Next. Goods sold for cash. Very cheap, eh? What is happening to your cash asset? It's increasing, eh? And then what do you have here? Sales, eh? I hope you're writing something. At the corner there? You're okay? Next. What happened? Goods purchased by us returned to supplier H. Hardy. We call these purchases what? Returns. But let it not confuse you. Because H. Hardy is doing what? Receiving or giving? He's receiving. So receivers, we do what? Good. So, this time around, H. Hardy, the supplier is receiving. So we introduce this opposite of purchases. Is called purchases what? Good. Proceed. Machinery sold for cash. Simple. What is happening to your cash? Cash is what? Increasing, eh? Then machinery is doing what? Reducing. When assets reduce, what do? We credit. But somebody would say that the machinery account is giving away. All right, next. I'm almost there. You write what you can see there. What's the next one saying? Goods sold returned to us by customer J. Nelson. What is J. Nelson doing? Is giving. So what do we do with givers? So we reduce the receivable, right? And then, which account? Sales returns. Good. Congratulations. Now you are becoming accountants. When we are gone, don't cry for us. Celebrate us. These issues of crying anyhow, it's not good. Because we would have left accountants, isn't it? Would have passed on the baton. Proceed to the next one. Goods bought on credit from D. Simpson. Now this is as good as the first one. What is D. Simpson doing? He's giving, isn't it? He's a creditor, right? How do you do that? Simpson. I think that's the way it is pronounced and spelled. Eh? What do we have here? Purchases, right? Bought means purchases. Chizungwe. Finally. Finally. Goods will return to H. Forbes. What do we call this? Purchases returns. Who is H. Forbes? He's a supplier. And what is he doing? He's receiving. So what do we do? They said F or H. Forbes. Yeah, H. Forbes. And then we have got what here? Same thing. Eh? Purchases what? Congratulations. Was it difficult? Hello? Was it difficult? Okay. So if it wasn't difficult, it's time for you to do a class assignment. Get busy. This is your assignment. Let's begin. I'm there. I'm giving you how many? Each one should take you 30 seconds to figure out. Maximum. These are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. 5 minutes. Finish this week. And congratulations. I'm around here. 5 minutes, please. Everybody is going to be asked to give something. Don't write the sentence. Just write the account to debit and the account to what? Credit. time is up, isn't it? Is that great? Can we please confirm? So we are going to start from this side. Everybody's going to be giving us their take. Goods bought on credit from T. Morgan. What is your accounts? Which, in fact, the first step to say is to identify the accounts themselves rather than to put them in the correct columns. So maybe we can ask a simple question. Which accounts do you have in that sentence? Madam there. You'll be identifying the accounts and then you'll be telling us where you put them. All right? So identify the accounts.
Purchases.
And what?
And purchases debited.
Come on. Simple question.
What's the question?
2 steps. Identify the accounts first, and then you tell us where you put them.
Purchases.
And
T. Morgan.
Good. Now tell us where you've put them.
Purchases debited.
Good.
T. Morgan credited.
Congratulations. If I was at kindergarten, I would have said, well done, such. Now these children of nowadays, when daddy does well, they like repeating the same song. Well done, such a good boy. Excellent. Can we please proceed? The next one. Okay, so B. Identify the accounts. Goods returned to us by J. Thomas. Identify the accounts. Yes.
Yeah.
Identify the accounts. Simple question.
We have purchases returned and J. Thomas.
Yeah, this is sales returns. Goods returned to us. We're the ones who sold. We're the ones who did what? Who sold. Okay, now she was correct because it's a return. So it's just that she put what? Purchases what? Returns. So it's sales returns, madam. Which other account do you have?
J. Thomas.
Good. Now do the double entry. I mean, put them in the right columns. Where did you put your returns?
Returns. Debit.
Correct. And J. Thomas?
Credit.
Congratulations. It's correct. So you see, as we are doing these things, we are correcting ourselves, isn't it? Next, it is your turn now, madam there. Machinery returns to L. Jones Limited. Identify the accounts. Now we can't get what you're saying.
L. Jones Limited account.
And what?
Machinery.
And machinery. Do the allocation.
Debit L. Jones.
Uh-huh.
Credit machinery.
Congratulations. That's correct. Machinery returned. It was returned, right? Good. Let's go to the next one. Goods bought for cash.
Purchases account,
Yes.
cash account.
Congratulations. Now allocate.
Debit purchases.
Yes.
cash.
That's correct. Good. You see now? Quite fast, eh? I'm very articulate of the Queen's language. Isn't that so? It's a choice, eh? Let's proceed. Next. Van bought on credit from D. Davis.
Purchases account.
Yes. There's a problem there. Van bought on credit. Where is the purchases coming from? Have you seen the word goods in that sentence?
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Which one? Which one? Have you seen? Come again?
Days.
Davis and what?
This one account.
How can there be one account? There's Van and Davis. Eh? Congratulations. Now, do the work. Allocate the accounts in the respective columns.
Debit fund.
Debit, Van, and Credit Davis. Congratulations. That's correct. Let's go to the next one. Goods returned by us to, who is this? I Prince, huh? Identify the accounts. There at the back there.
To
So the two accounts.
Yes, identify the accounts.
Sales retained account.
Let's see. Again, goods returned by us.
Oh, purchases retained, sorry.
Eh? Purchases, returns, and what?
Is it hybrid? Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You debit the purchase. Oh, you. Sorry. Goods retained as by hybrid.
You're asking a lot of questions. Are you aware that you're asking a lot of Please tell us what you did. What did you do?
I debited the purchases retained and hybrids credited everything.
So that's not correct, isn't it? So what you're supposed to do the opposite, right? So what did we say about the receipt? What did we say about the receipt?
The receiver with
We debit, isn't it?
So what I want is retained stuff.
Who is receiving? The name. What's the name of the person in the high priest is receiving it? And then
How? Goods retained to us by hybrids.
or is it a good returns to us? Eh?
Yes.
It's by. I'm seeing by. Why are you including the word to where there's by? Why? Who gave you the right? That young man likes saying, for what for? For who? Eh? who gave you the right to put another word where there's... So you're now trying to persuade us. Maybe you... It is by us. We are the ones who are returning, isn't it? Isn't that so? Isn't that so? Okay, now do it correctly. Do it correctly. If we are the ones who are returning, who is receiving? I Prince, right? So you debit the receiver I Prince and you credit what? Credit which account, sir? Quickly.
Purchases.
Purchases, returns. Thank you very much. Let's proceed. G says D. Picton paid us his account by check. Yes. Which accounts do you have? And please answer the question nicely. Identify the accounts first. Mm-hmm. Which accounts did you identify?
Check.
Come again?
Check, sir.
Check account. I'll be on my heels, you know. I told you every time you meet the word check, you remember the word what? Bank. You understand that? Every time. So we have assisted you on one. Which other account can you see there? It is written there. Whenever I give you a name, please make sure that you mention the name. Which name can you see? That's correct. The bank account, you debit. Isn't that so? So debit bank and credit who? Debit one, isn't it? Because the receivable is paying. Let's proceed. Goods bought by us by check, or goods bought by check. Which accounts can you see? Mister. There. And bank. Good. Now, do the allocation. That's correct. Let's proceed. We paid creditor B. Henry by what? Which accounts can you see? Mr. Samuel?
In the bank. We debit B. Henry credit the bank.
That's as simple as that. Debit the receiver. Who is receiving the money? B. Henry, isn't it? And then, which account is giving the money? Bank. Imwe. Ero is system and you know last class. You're not supposed to think like that. Listen, you can't be wasting time. Time is what? Precious. It is money, isn't it? You can't. If you are not going to refuse on your own self, we are going to refuse on your behalf. Don't waste your time. You understand that? Can we proceed? The last one now. Goods sold on credit. To who? JM. Identify the accounts.
There's sales and JM.
That's correct. And now do the allocation.
We credit sales and we debit JM.
Okay? Credit sales always. You understand that? and debit the other one. Is it going to be fair for you not to be asked a question in this class?
I think so.
Is it going to be fair? She was fast in answering that question. Don't be fast. Kapena mungaiseko inangwe. Okay, you're lucky. Are you not lucky? That's a good way to answer. You're supposed to answer a question, All right, so let us now go down deep there to another question. And if you notice, I'm just speaking on what is important, so that we can drive you somewhere. Let us get on this place and do the journal. You wanted to ask for the page, 46. Is that okay? You need to identify the account to debit and the account to what? To credit. Wow, this is interesting. This one now has got numbers. Double what? You know, this one normally it comes later. What's the time now?
9:29.
Are you not abusing the lecture? It's 9:29. All right. Let's try to see if you can do some of these things. You have heard of the journal? Hello? You have heard of the journal? In this case, we'll be journalizing, Debit and what? Credit. You're abusing the lecture. Let's start. Started a business with how much? 5,000 in the bank and 1,000 in cash. So, understand? Bank, we debit, and that. How many accounts are involved here? 3, Do you agree?
Yes.
How much did you put in the bank? 5,000, So you put a 5,000 here. How much did you have as cash in hands? And how much is your capital now?
6.
You see where it is coming? Are you balancing? Yes, you are. You are now doing the journalizing. Next. Is it difficult? Mr. Samuel? It's not, It's not difficult. Next. Where are we going from there? Bought stationery. Buy check. You know, maybe I can start from here next time when I'm doing the T accounts. Did you hear what I said? Tomorrow, we might be doing T accounts. Normally we do everything in class. But today we're like, maybe you can check on what we have done on the other side. Bought stationery, buy check, how much? Yes, so which accounts can you see? Stationery? And what? And bank, Congratulations. So the one comes here, the other one comes where? Yes. You see that? Next. Now, you see, for a journal, you have to have narratives, Like in this case, for the first one, it was what? Capital introduced, Then here, being purchases of what? Being purchases of what? Stationery. Next, bought goods on credit from T-Smart. purchases, and what? T-Smart. What is the amount involved? 200. You agree? Yes. It's a good idea for accountants to start with the account to debit and end with the account to what? To credit. You understand? Next. What did you do? So who can give us the narrative here? Being credit purchases, eh? From T-Smart, right?
Yes.
The next one says what? Sold goods for cash. How much? What do we have? A cash sale, isn't it? So cash will be debited, isn't it? And sales will be what? You said 340? Is that correct? Yes. I think I'm overworking myself. You're supposed to do these things alone. Maybe I can just do half I, then you can do the rest. Is that fair? I remember those days when I was growing up, I used to refuse for someone to make me cross the road, holding me. I wanted to do it alone. Huh? So you should also refuse to be held all along. Proceed. Paid insurance by cash. So we have got insurance and then we've got cash. How much did you spend? 290? Thank you. Can we proceed? Bought a computer on credit from J Hot. So you've got computer, right? And who? J what? J Hot. How much was involved? 7 what? 700, isn't it? Next. What do you have? Yes, what do you have? Paid expenses by check. How much? They just said expenses, so we go with the wording. Eh? Bank. Eh? How much was spent? Is as basic. Next. Sold goods on credit to C begins. Okay, so this is a credit sale, right? C begins is who? How much was involved? You said 6 what? Next. What do you have? Return goods to T-Smart. 550, right? So T-Smart is receiving, right? And then what do we have here? Purchases what? Isn't that so? How much was involved? 550? 550 here. Next. Paid wages by cash 210, right? Expenses we debit, eh? And cash is reducing. 210, right? understanding something?
Yes.
Next. Paid rent by check, right? Rent is an expense, right? When they say check, what do we mean? Bank. How much did you pay? And also here, 225. All right? You don't want to finish on your own? Eh? Good. Since I'm almost done, let me finish for you. Received check 400 from C Begins, isn't it? Meaning what is happening to your asset in the bank? It's increasing, isn't it? C Begins. How much did you receive? 400, right? Next. Paid J Hot by check. All right. J Hot is receiving, right? And bank is reducing. How much did you pay? Congratulations. Almost there. Next. Bought stationery on credit from News Limited. Stationery, right? You bought by check? It's on credit, eh? So news will be credited, eh? Is that correct? Yes. How much do you have? 125, right? Also where? 125. And finally, sold goods on credit to F Tank. It's a credit sale, right? F Tank being a receivable. These are sales. How much did you charge him? 645. So here, finally, paid News Limited by check. So you're cancelling, eh? News Limited is receiving, right? How much is it receiving? How much is the company receiving, rather? And then you are paying by what? By check, right? So bank is reducing. So when you sum up all this amount, you find that the totals will be equal. But anyway, that's not an objective here. I think the objective was to identify the accounts and to do the journals. Congratulations. Let us meet tomorrow. Slow ourselves down a bit. So tomorrow we'll be opening and closing T accounts, extract a trial balance, and introduce the discussion of trial balance. Or maybe we can introduce it today. You're tired, eh? You're tired, isn't it? Speaking for himself now. Thank you very much for listening to what we prepared today. Have a nice time.